Hey guys, I'm here with Erkan Mete. We're here at Gracie and with everything going on and people not being able to train, I'd asked questions about techniques that people maybe wanted me to show or demonstrate or discuss, and I had a lot of good responses. But one that I got a lot of people asking about was escaping when somebody has their back. And so we're going to go over some of the options to do to get out of when somebody's trying to control you from the back. I don't want to just show some techniques because you guys might just forget the techniques. It doesn't really stick. I want you to understand what your goals are, what the underlying mechanics that you're trying to accomplish. So first we have to understand what back control is, really. So can I get you to just turn around a little bit? So there's what I call sort of greater and lesser back control. And the greater back control is simply the center of my chest glued between his shoulder blades. When I have this, it really doesn't matter where he goes, I'm going to stay with him the whole time. And I'm going to be in a position to be able to attack. So that's kind of the ideal position for me, and that's the last position he wants me to be in. Then there's what I call lesser back control. And that's any time I'm behind his elbow. Okay, so I'm not here, but he's not able to still turn into me. So for instance, can I get you on your side? You'll see a lot of people turn this way. Call this technical mount. I actually call it technical back because I'm behind the elbow. Right? So there's nothing stopping me attacking all the techniques I could from behind. So even if he were to, let's say, start to escape, and I'm here, and he tries to turn in, as long as I'm behind this elbow, he's not escaping. What he's got to do is get this elbow across, and then he's going to be gone. Okay? So our first goal is to beat his chest connected to my back, but then I've also got to clear the elbow. Okay? So there's two different battles. Okay? So the other thing I teach people all the time with escaping is there is no one escape. Right? There's a timeline of escapes. It's why you have to practice your defense, so you get comfortable along this timeline. And you have to recognize where on the timeline you are. So one thing we have to understand is there's an early escape, right, which is always ideal. We want to practice those. Too often we practice late escapes. If the guy's got the full locked-in choke, what do I do? Right? So we want to practice early escapes, middle escapes, late escapes. If you only practice late escapes, you get in the habit of letting it get to that point, okay, and not addressing the problem early on. So we talked about he wants his chest glued to my back. Okay? So normally, for instance, if we were here and he was, say, on top of me, I have frames, right? I can make the space with all my frames. The problem is when he's behind me, I don't have those frames anymore. So I can't push him off me, I can't push myself away. So it's going to require different mechanics. So how do I disconnect his chest from my back? Well, the ground is going to have to do the job for me. Most of the techniques we're going to use, we're going to have to actually put ourselves in a position where we can kind of scrape him off of us. Okay? Because I can't, again, use my arms or legs to push him off me. Okay? So that's really what we're going to focus on, is disconnecting his chest from our back. That's always your first goal, right? And often we're going to use the ground to do that. Okay? So we have a couple different options, right? One is I can simply get my my back away from his chest, move away from it. Two is I can go right, left, back at angles, down to the ground, but any way that I can start to put my back on the ground in which he can't follow me. Okay, so what I want to really avoid is he's here, his chest is on my back. Let's just keep moving around where he just stays on my back. See, I'll never do this. Okay? But if I can scrape him off me with the ground, put my back on the ground, not my shoulders. See, my back is still exposed. My back on the ground where he can't follow me. Now, I've broken that hold. I've broken that chest to back connection. So the first one we're going to talk about is when he has my back and I have an early defense. And what I mean by early defense is simply he hasn't gotten his arms into any sort of position. He's not over under, he's not attacking my neck. Really, he hasn't locked his hands is really what I want to try to avoid. More specifically, he isn't under my arms, because this move won't work if he gets under my arms, okay? So first we're going to talk about, or we're going to cover briefly a couple positions, right? In Jiu-Jitsu, most Jiu-Jitsu schools, the main fear when he has a back is him attacking my neck, okay? A lesser fear is him attacking an arm, right? But in reality, one thing that can happen a lot is simply I can get punched in the face, right? I can be so worried about my neck that I take a couple good hard shots to the face. One of two things is happening. I'm either going to take a lot of damage, maybe lose the fight right there, or I'm going to expose my neck, okay? You see this all the time in MMA. It happened with Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. He hit him once in the face, head came up, shot the choke, okay? So we'll cover the hand positions to defend the punch. Again, that's always going to be your most realistic threat, is getting hit. So we can't be so focused on defending submissions that we forget the reality of what people do. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to be in more of a sport mindset. He's not trying to punch us, just so it'll be easier to learn this technique. Okay, I want to keep my elbows glued, okay? I want to protect my neck. There's all kinds of ways. I try not to hold the gi, simply because if you don't have it, it's not there. I take the back of my hand, connect, connect. Now, the one thing I really got to focus on is keeping my elbows here so he doesn't get under my elbows on this one. Okay. So, right away, let me turn you this way a little bit. What I don't want to do is lean into him, because I'm reinforcing this chest to back connection. I actually want to kind of lean away from him, which we'll see more. My legs are on the mat. I don't want my legs like this relaxed. I can't move. Okay. My legs are on the mat. I'm crunched up. Chin is tucked. I'm away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my feet. I'm going to pull my hips away so I can put my chest, my back I should say, on the ground. Again, like I said, I can fall this way, this way, this way, this way. As long as he has this chest connection to my back, my shoulder blades, I'm in danger. Now, what I mean by that is, if he has his chest connected to the top of my head or to my lower back, I'm not in danger. So for instance, right now, if he is very high on me like this, and he's trying to choke me, he's not really in a position to choke me. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. Is I'm here, I'm crunched forward a little bit, I put my feet on the mat, and I start to scoot. Now I'm actually in a pretty good position. My back isn't on the mat yet, but it's no longer connected to his chest. Okay, my feet are still up. I'm actually pressing into, even if he wanted to take his legs out right now, I can't. Okay, my elbows are tight, my legs are up, live. He's got tension on his legs, right? Okay, from here, okay, I've got it as low as I can. That was one move, sometimes it may take you a couple times. The threat is no longer here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten one leg out. I'm going to use my elbow to kick off. Okay, leg comes back up. Okay, my elbow is still, put your hook back in. My elbow is still in. Now I'm going to do a slight shrimp out. My elbow is in. This is very important. Okay, if I come up with my elbow outside his leg, he's just going to reassert my back. He's just going to re-attack my back. Okay, so let's turn this way. I'm here, I'm forward a little bit. I'm not letting him get under my arms. I go. Got pressure, knees up, feet close. I kick my legs straight, clear off, hip out. Elbow's gonna dig under. Okay. I'm gonna switch my legs here. So my arms switch, turn this way a little bit, here. Now right away, to stop him trying to follow my back, I bring my head across. And notice I'm looking this way. My head stays this way, push my head this way. Which way? This way? Yeah. He's gonna come here. So as soon as I switch, my arms switch, and I go here. And then my arm comes underneath. I drive up, walk, lift, and we're here. Okay. So you see here, I'm leaning away. I'm not doing this. See how my neck starts to open and I reinforce that connection? I'm coming away. My feet pull. Sometimes you have to wiggle down. Okay, let's turn it this way a little bit. Here. Chin is still tucked just because I don't want him trying. Even like this up. He's pushing up into my chin. He's not really attacking the neck. But still, I'm here. I can even do a little hip turn. Straighten, peel, move, elbow in. Okay? Right here, I can switch my legs. My arm comes. This arm goes around. I come to my knees. As I do, I look to the other side. I come under. Get into our passing position. Okay? Now there's a variation if you feel kind of uncomfortable turning in with over under, like you're afraid of maybe walking into a triangle. Or you're just very conservative, the guy's got a good guard. Here, I'm going to kick the leg as before. Again, I don't want to be like this. Because right now, he's going to take his legs out and start to come up to his knees behind me. I'm in, stuck here. So I actually want to kind of lock his legs in place until I'm ready to go. I'm here. I'm kind of pinning his legs right now. Okay. Then, straighten, move out. Now both arms are going to come under, and I can come in to my stack pass position. Okay. And that is our early defense. Again, what we're looking for is I'm putting my back, or as much of my back on the ground, and sliding down his body so he no longer has his chest connected between my shoulder blades. Okay? Once I'm there, I'm very easy for me to break the leg hold. Again, this move will not work once he gets under either arm. Here or over under. I can't slide down now. Okay, so this is an early defense before he's established any sort of hold. It also works if the guy doesn't really know what he's doing, he just goes straight over both shoulders attacking my neck. Okay. I'm gone. Okay? So, that's our early defense when somebody takes your back. Hey, I'm here with Erkan Mete and Gracie Schwartzholder. We're going to continue on with our Escaping the Back series. So the first one we covered was an early escape when they do not have, they're not controlling my upper body in any way with their arms. Okay. Now we're going to go into kind of a midway escape. Okay, so again, I want to reinforce that idea. We're always trying to break the connection between the center of his chest and the center of my shoulder blades. Okay, and as soon as we do that, that allows us to turn into him. We're going to often have to use the ground to do that. Once I beat that, though, the next battle is getting the elbows back in. Okay, because if he stays behind my elbow, he's still technically on my back and can reestablish the connection to my the center of my chest, center of my back with his chest again. So I talked before about this hand position. This hand position is good for sport. Right? Problem is, it leaves my face completely open. Right? So we're going to go with the old school defense. Right? And again, even if you don't train with punches, you say, I only want to do sport. Understand that one punch will change that reality. Will change the whole fight. So you want to practice in ways that take into account punches. And if you train that way, it works for sport just as easily. Okay, so I use this all the time, even in sport. So what I'm going to do is, can I get you here, please? The danger, the finish, is when he comes over my arm, my shoulder, and goes here or hits me. Yeah. He goes under my arm, he controls me. Okay? I'd rather him control me than finish the fight. Okay? Because I still have a chance to escape. So I'm going to bait him to go under. Now, just because he goes under my arms is not a big control until he locks his hands. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to take one arm, I'm going to come over my head. I like the back of my hand. I'm not going super high. Back of my hand, my ear. My other hand, elbow is going to be close to my hand. My other hand is going to be my armpit here. Okay, I'm making just a small window. I'm not making it a big window. I'm not doing this where he can hit me on this side of my face. Okay, I'm covering both sides of my face here. Okay, again, not big, but not small. I need to kind of give myself the smallest range here. Okay, this hand is ready. If this arm comes in to catch, And this hand, if it comes through, I'm going to close. Okay? So I'm actually baiting him to go under the arm. Why am I doing that? Well, traditionally, please. The way I was taught which way to escape, there's weak side, strong side. Now people are saying the weak side is the strong side. All of that's wrong, right? There's always just pros and cons to everything. But I was taught in the beginning that choking hand points the way I want to go. My problem with that is it's very good, it's correct. It was always this, go ahead. By the time I realize which way to go, I'm already in the choke. Right? So I'm like, oh, I gotta go this way, and I'm already fighting off the choke. So I personally look at it as, okay, the arm I'm over is my way out. Because the other one has to be the choke, but by the time he's reaching, so I'm already away from it. So I'm baiting him to go under one of the arms. Okay, so from here I'm baiting. So when the arm comes, I catch. Here, yep. He's trying to hit me, I catch, catch. So for now, let's do this side. I'm here, I catch. Now I'm going to control and lock. Now, one thing I want to cover this really quickly right now. I talked about, again, my goal is to disconnect the center of my back to his chest. I rarely do this. I'll do it sometimes, but you see this a lot. People will go like this and bridge into the guy like this. The problem is, for me, I've never liked that, is I'm actually doing his work for him. I'm forcing this connection tighter. So for me to go here, and then to try to work off to the side, resist, it can be really hard because I'm making that connection tighter. Okay, that was never the goal. So for me to glue my back to his chest and then somehow try to then scrape him off is much harder than if I were to create space between those two and scrape him off. Okay? So from here, again, good posture with my legs. Don't lean back. I see people do this. I can't move right now. I'm off balance. I have no pressure on my feet. I'm connecting tighter here. Okay, so I want to keep my position here. I'm here protecting. He comes in. I catch. Now look. I go forward. You see how I'm disconnecting? Stay tight to my back. See how much space there is? Okay, so I don't do this and fall to the side or drive back to the side. I'm here. I catch. I go forward. I'm live on my feet. Now, why is the strong side the weak side? People talk about this all the time. They say, you know, now, what do I mean by this, okay? If this arm is here, this was considered the strong side for a long time. He falls this way, he can set up the choke here. Now people are saying, this is the strong side. They call it the weak side, they mean the strong side. Because he has armbar options, he has gi choke options. I disagree. Again, both have their pros and cons. The reason that that's the side for me to escape on is you see how knock your hands here. See how the back of my shoulder is free? Well, if I can put the back of my shoulder on the ground, I can start to get the rest of me on the ground. If he's over the shoulder, that shoulder is locked. I can't put that shoulder on the ground, so it's much harder for me to turn in. And of course, if he has the gi, he's going to choke me. But that's, mechanically, it's much harder for me to start to get my back on the ground if I go to the choke side. Okay? Now, if he's here and he falls this way, I'm gone. So that's, when people say the weak side is better, that's not really, that's a bad weak side. If he goes here and he spins a little bit to where he's under my shoulder when I fall, then I'm in trouble. I can't put my shoulder on the ground. Okay, but I see people do this and think they're going to do something. No, I'm gone at this point. This is not a good control. Okay, so that's one reason that when I go here, if the guy pulls me this side because he wants to fall and be underneath me and have a good strong, yeah, here, but do that again. I put my body forward. Then I start getting my shoulder on the ground, you see? So I don't want to let him occupy the space underneath me. Okay. Kind of a rule I go for is, see how his hand's on the side of his head? I'm always in trouble. Go. If I put my head between his hand and his head, sorry, stay here. I'm not in danger. But if he kept his head on the same side of his hand, then I'm in danger. So I'm trying to split that middle. Okay, so we're here, I catch, trying to let him lock his hands. Even if he comes for the collar now, it doesn't really matter. Also, very far away. I fall forward, and as I fall, I turn, and I'm trying to put my shoulder blade, I should say, on the ground. Okay, now, keep your feet tight. See how his legs, it's pretty hard for me to break this hold. It's getting easier, but with my legs this way, also, come here, lock your hands, pull me back on top. Yeah, he can maybe start to work me. So, once I put my back on the ground, I need to separate those legs. The closer he keeps his legs, the tighter this lock. Okay, so when I fall, watch my legs. I come here, I fall. See how wide my legs are? Okay, I don't want to have my legs like this. His legs are closer now, it's harder to break this little prison of his legs. Plus, something I do a lot, he takes his hook out, he lifts my leg, he's going to roll me to my stomach. He tries that now, my base is too firm. He tries to pull me back on top of him, my base is too wide. Okay, so this, now do you feel my pressure on your leg? That's what's going to, so even if this leg is here, I'm okay. Now, I'm pretty much out of danger, so, but my back is not on the ground. My shoulder's on the ground, kind of a quarter on the ground. So from here, I've got this hold. I'm going to start to turn and move my body out. Here, I'm trying to keep my shoulders on the ground, but more importantly, I don't do this and bridge. Because now he's going to take his leg out from underneath me and come on top very quickly. Okay? Now, if he did, worst case scenario, he gets on mount. Okay, that's better than when he was on my back. But I'm trying to pin his leg. Here. So even if he wants to come on top now, I'm locking his leg. Now we have a few options, okay? Depending. One thing I do not like to do, and I see people do all the time, is they control with this arm. Well, if this arm is up in the air, I cannot turn into him. The only way, take this arm off for a second. The only way I can turn in is by getting this elbow in. So don't grab with this arm. Okay? It's very hard for me to turn in. So what I'm going to work from here is getting my elbow to the ground. Okay? Now we have a few options. Again, my weight is on your leg. It's not very comfortable, is it? Okay? Once my elbow turns in, I turn in. I'm going to control the pants this way. One thing I like to do is control with my palm facing him. Because if I go like this, he's just going to pull and keep breaking that grip. I control, elbow tight to me. Okay? Move my hips here, elbow in, and I can just pin and come right up. Okay? So he gets to my back, I'm protecting my face punch. There, protecting once I get a chance to catch. Catch, I go forward. And as I fall, I don't fall to the side like this. As I fall, I'm already turning. That's why I'm not holding on super tight to this. Don't hold tight, lock yourself in place. In fact, once I'm here, I can even let go. If feet are wide, this also stops him figure four-ing his legs if he's got really long legs. Okay, here. I can start to turn. If the guy's got really long legs, I can take this arm for a second and pop that foot. Elbows in. Okay, so even if he tries to come on top, I'm already in good position. Now, if he crosses his feet, tries to keep me locked, it's very easy. I come in here. But if the feet aren't crossed, this is the leg I got to worry about. Right? So as I'm here, I control the leg. Now, he's still technically my elbow. Remember I talked about I don't want him behind my elbow because he still has my back. So once I'm here, he's not on my back, he's not here anymore, and he's not behind my elbow. Okay? The only thing I got to worry about is him coming on top. Okay, but he's still behind my back with his legs. Maybe he can reinsert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post, shrimp, and get my knee on the ground inside his hip. Now there's no way he can come back underneath me. he can't get back underneath me. And I've got this leg, so it's hard for him to get on top. Okay, so from here, if he tries to come on top, I can extend my body weight, get up, control, and come on top. Even if he really starts to come on top, I'm here. Okay, so that's my last thing, is I really like to get my knee on the ground. My knee's on the ground, my elbow's in, he's no longer here, there's no way he's reinserting himself behind me. The only threat I have to get worried about now is him coming up. And the knee, that far knee coming up, that's the battle at that point. Remember, spin. Here, elbows in. If he starts to come up with that leg, worst case, come. Keep coming. I can just put him in the deep, or in the half guard. Okay, flat, let's go here. Notice again, what's making that so difficult is all my weight is on his leg. I come in, I catch, okay? I shrimp, here, okay? And now I can extend my body away. It looks like we're neutral, but if he tries to come on top now, and then we're here. Okay. One more time. Just understand that here, here, here. Once I'm here, the rest is going to kind of be a very fluid situation. He may come on top of your half guard, he may come on top and mount, he may come on top and I go to deep half, he may come on top and I go inside his, or he may stay on his back, I go inside his guard. It may be I come here, put my knee, block, pull, hug the head, move my hips north, and come into passing. So I don't want you to get too focused on what to do at that point. The point is, I've escaped having his chest connected to my back, and I've escaped having him behind my elbow. At this point, come on top. Yeah, see, there's any number of things that are going to happen because I'm free to move at that point. Okay? So, that's kind of my middle stage escape. It's also a good one if we're dealing with more of a fight situation where we really got to protect my face and get, but you notice what I'm doing is I'm using, he wants to keep his chest connected to my back. So what I'm doing, getting feet wide, is I'm scraping, stay with me, I'm scraping him off, and then this elbow, control the elbow, here. At that point, I've scraped him completely off me. He's not going to go anywhere. He tries to come on top now. There's any number of situations, but he can't re-control. And that's kind of my middle stage back escape. Hey, I'm here with Eric Armete and Gracie Schwartzwald, and now we're going to continue with even further along with our back escape series. So we covered an early escape, kind of a middle timeline escape, and there are more. Kind of as you get better, you make that timeline. You're going to get smaller and smaller breakdowns of options. But we're going to go kind of into a later problem. We talked before about here that I want to fall to the side I have an overhook on because my shoulder is free. It's easier for me to spin and put my back on the mat. Okay. But there's times where he comes here and he pulls me to this side. And now it's very hard for me to put my back on the mat. Not only is my shoulders blocked, but this underhook over here is blocking me turning. Okay, so it's very problem. And if I just go this way, he's just going to follow me belly down, and now I'm even in a worse position. Okay? So, just because you're in a bad position doesn't really mean anything if you're safe, right? That sounds like a counterintuitive, right? I can be in side control where I completely can't move, but if he can't submit me, he can't hit me, and I can breathe, I'm safe. Right? I don't have to rush and force things to happen. This is why it's really important when you guys train to at least some of the time train without a timer. Right? If you're always training with a timer, then you're always trying to force things to happen. And sometimes, you know, if you can't escape, trying to force things to happen will just give your opponent opportunities that you wouldn't normally give them just because you're spazzing out, and also you're going to exhaust yourself. So when I get here, if I can protect from submissions, I may not be able to escape right away, but I'm safe. And it means that he might have to adjust, which gives me opportunities to escape. You know, it's the same way if he's in side control, if he can't hit me or submit me, he's got to open up a little bit of space to do either. That gives me opportunity to escape. Okay. So, he's here, he comes over under, he locks his hands, he falls to this side. First thing I want to talk, let's get you, sorry, sit up again. Go on your knees behind you. When he goes for like a rear naked choke, we're going to talk about that. Notice his elbow is right here. If it's too short and he tries to choke me, it can be pretty hard. But even more so, if he goes really far and he tries to choke me, it's actually not going to work. There's too much space here. Okay, so I want to force his elbow down as far as I can. Okay, let me go this way. So if he tries to choke me now, the crook isn't crushing on either side of my neck. So that's what we're going to work on here. So he comes over, again, remember, good posture. I'm not leaning back and reinforcing that connection. I'm trying to stay away. He falls. As soon as he falls, I'm going to start pulling. I'm going to come over the top. Okay, I'm not doing this because shoot your hand up in my neck. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually coming over the top. One, my armpit will lock his wrist. Okay, and then my hand is controlling. Let's get this way a little bit. My hand is controlling above his elbow and pulling his arm down towards my hips this way. Okay. My other hand can reinforce down here. So now if he wants to try to choke me, here, even if I don't have this hand, choke me. Okay. He'd have to pull that arm out, right? Which is why I want to hold this, because I don't want him to pull the arm out a little bit. Slide this arm back this way, yeah, and then come up and bring that. But this is the main point, right here and then here. Okay, so now he's trying to choke me. Here, again, notice my wide feet. I don't want to be here, have a bad base with my feet, and then he rolls me this way to my stomach, and then yeah, I'm in trouble. Okay, or he pulls me back on top. I'm here, here. So, notice, I'm going to turn my head a little bit. I'm already starting to work maybe to the back, my back to the ground a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to get far, but I don't want to be turning this way where my neck is directly the point of his, the crook of his elbow. So I'm here and I'm good. Okay. So once, choke me. Okay, once I feel him start to adjust, maybe a little bit, this hand will come inside. And it's going to go right on my neck. So if he's trying to choke me, I want to come here. Now I'm not going to stay here forever. Okay? But I want to put that wedge in the way. Okay. So I'm here. Okay. My hand comes in and my hand slides down. Okay. So now he's trying to choke me. We're here. And I'm using a thumb grip. Now I'm going to start walking this hand up my head. Keeping this elbow closed. Don't lift your elbow where he hooks and breaks. I'm here. I'm going to start to walk my elbow up. Again, move my hips out. Here. Okay. Once I'm here, as before, I'm going to get my elbow on the ground, but I also want to make a little bit of space. So I'm going to keep walking, putting my weight here, elbow on the ground, come up. Good. So he's super fast. He got the over-under, he pulled me down right away. I'm here, turning my head, playing this game. Here. Once I feel like there's a little bit of space, I can put my hand in, slide my hand down, walk my hand not to the side of my head, over the crown of my head. Choke me. Here. Look at my feet are wide, I'm on my toes. The moment I can, I'm here, connect this elbow to the ground, wrist lock, elbow on. He tries to come on top, or we go to our knee position, he comes on top. It's the other reason I like the knee position, because you can heel hook him if he's a white belt. Okay. So, that is our late defense. He's got us, he's pulled us to the side. Let me get you, please. Let's come this way. So I come here. Notice he's really making it hard for me to get over by leaning away. Do not do this. Do not bridge into me here where I'm going to start attacking. Don't do his job for him. He's away. I get here. You can do it as you fall. Yes, he's pulling down. Can't get anything. The moment he has an option, he comes in, go back. Get this hand in first. There you go. Now slide down. Now he's going to start walking his hand up his head. Elbow to the ground. Control this leg right away. There you go. Then you have the option of getting there. And then he'll hook in a filthy white belt. Okay. And that is our late escape. You got pulled to the strong side. The guy's got his hands locked. And again, it may take a while before you can sneak that hand in. But as long as he's not able to choke you, as long as he's not able to roll you to your stomach, you're pretty good. One last thing when I do this. Again, because I know I'm going to be there for a while, don't have your legs like this where he can start to figure four his legs. It's really hard for him to keep figure four your legs. Yeah, see, I'm going to make it really hard for him to figure four his legs. Because me on top, whenever I'm on top, if somebody is making it to where I can't attack them, I'm always going to try to make it more miserable for them. So me on bottom, I want to put myself in a position where he can't submit me, he can't advance to a good position, but he also can't make it more uncomfortable for me. So that's our late escape.